Alright guys, welcome back to VALORANT News. Massive update today on the potential future of Yay, Aspas, and also including Demon1 as well. Potentially his destination could have changed. A couple of teams seem rather interested, but some almost certainly have their new rosters locked down for the new season. Very much intrigued your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. First of all, if you guys missed this from yesterday, Cloud9 pretty much squad wiped. They have kept, of course, a couple of their guys along. Zelsis, though, is gone. Most of the team is now gone. Jake is going to stay. We thought MCE was going to stay. That's no longer the case. So as he says, moving on to a new journey next, it seems. And Leaf and Zelsis having a good time here on Twitter. Now, Leaf has been, according to, as of last night, further links to this new G2 team. But there is some disagreement among reporters now as to whether this actually will be the case or not. Because, as we've discussed with Leaf and Tex and others, there are players in those potential roles that are really big name free agents here, right? So yeah, Zelsis has decided to not take a starting team offer and has gone to Sentinels, which is definitely an interesting decision. It might work out well for him. I also wanted to mention though what FNS had to say on the state of NRG's roster last season. So we talked about the fact that there must have been, I'm sure there must have been some disagreement behind the scenes. Not to say that there was any crazy friction between FNS and Chair to FNS and Victor and Crashies or anything, because they teamed for a long time. I'm sure that there's no crazy bad blood or anything, but I imagine there was some disagreement in the direction they took the team, just because, as FNS says, last year, or this year I suppose, this most recent season, they had struggles with their chemistry, with their consistency, and maybe you can say, oh, it was Ardis' fault, he came in, ruined the team. I don't really think that's true. Once they got their roles sorted, they looked better, but they still struggled in, characteristic ways to, win big series, really, and to actually beat teams that they feel like they should have been beating. So it seems like FNS's perspective is that it had just kind of run its course with Victor and Crashies. Not to say that he hates those guys now or there's crazy drama or anything, but just to say that I think maybe FNS realised that teaming again with Victor and Crashies next year, or keeping that trio together, was probably not going to work. And FNS decided, therefore, it seems to step away. Or he was like, look, it's an ultimatum. You either choose me, Chet, me and Som, or you choose Victor and Crashies. And it seems like NRG are going with the latter, therefore leaving FNS right now out of a team situation. He's still on NRG for now. I believe Som's contract is at an end, so FNS could even stay as a content creator or on the bench or something if he doesn't get another spot. I would like to see Evil Geniuses come along, given the fact that they are squad wiping, it seems, and bring in FNS and Som and let them build a team. But in fairness, FNS might not want to go there, but out of all the options in the Americas VCT League, that's the only possibility for FNS and Som to actually go as a duo and build a team around them. And even then, e.g., do you want to go there? Maybe not. But if you don't, then I think that FNS's chances to be in the league next season are very slim.
We couldn't get our chemistry right at all times. It was very inconsistent. Every game seemed to be a struggle to win. It didn't feel like we were able to dominate a single opponent at any time. It was very rare that we dominated people. So that was also a huge issue. I don't know, I'm listening to this. It's just in my release radar. We at no point had settled our rules at the beginning. So that was a struggle as well until we finally settled back to what we were good at. We threw way more rounds this year than we did last year. We weren't able to close out a lot of advantageous rounds. So that was another issue. Our individual form fluctuated too much
John,
as
enough
well.
experimenting with KO.
Now, speaking of NRG, it was a theory for a long time that Ye could return to that team in place of Ardis or something to that effect. That never happened, of course, after Ye was dropped from Cloud9 and was stuck on the bench for the rest of the year. They've now, if you guys aren't aware, brought in a new rule to pretty much prevent what happened to Ye. So, if there is a roster lock in place at a time when a player gets dropped by a team, there is an exception, a safe harbor exception, such that Ye in that situation could still be re-signed rather than getting dropped after a couple of weeks and getting sidelined for the entire season because nobody can make a change in Tier 1. Now, the other day, you guys know that Ye said, I will be in franchising next season. And then yesterday, he followed it up with this tweet where he says, get ready to learn English, buddy. So Look, I don't know how you guys want to read into this, but as it stands, we still don't really have any rumors as to where Ye's going to end up right now. But the implication is that he's going to be staying in, I guess, the Americas region, right? Because if he was going to the Pacific region or going to EMEA, and yeah, there are some teams in EMEA that will be speaking English, and I guess that Ye will be doing that on a team if he does join an EMEA team. But the likely chance is that he's going to be in the Americas, I guess, staying there right now. But what's going to happen, we don't really know. Aspas is getting a load of offers from all over the shop, including from Bleed Esports, right? We believe at least. But it seems like he's most likely to accept an offer elsewhere. We think that maybe Leviathan and maybe NRG, who knows, might be more attractive offers for him. So you'd think Ye would be able to land somewhere. His stock can't be that low, you know what I mean? Yes, he had a poor return to his season on DSG, but he was still a good player for Cloud9 at the start of the season and was obviously phenomenal ever before then. And you've got to think right now, Jet's been nerfed, Chamber is potentially going to creep back into the meta as well. Yeah, he's got to be a guy that you look at, right? But it's just surprising he hasn't really been linked too many places as yet. So intrigued to your perspective in the comments below on that one. Now, this also big update on what's going on elsewhere. So the guard, or now what is going to be G2, we can see, you know, Valin, Trent, Jonah P, Ned, Josh RT. We don't know the fifth man yet, and we will find out shortly, and we'll discuss in a second. The other team, though, Vanity, Whippy, Zeppa, Jake. So every day, more information coming out that this is going to be the new Cloud9. It is, as I've said, if Whippy does join this team, and, you know, I'm not hating on Whippy as a player, but I just think that there might have been better options out there, and, you know, Whippy is good mates with Vanity, so, you know, maybe they're bringing him back for that reason. I don't know, Friendship League, you know how it is. But I think if this is the roster, it's somewhat more underwhelming, especially if you lose Zelsis. I don't know, I think it's pretty underwhelming if they do this with the team we'll see in a second, but still, maybe it works out well for them, but they were getting, you know, they were down 0-3 in this one, so they might change their mind at some point, who knows. But still, Jake is going to stay, Vanity's back, Zeppa, Whippy, and then reportedly Oxy, formerly a G2, is going to be the man to round out the team. And Oxy, I'm really excited to see what he can do on this team. But I still feel like the team is somewhat more underwhelming than it could have been. There's also this that was noticed with Dapper playing with Oxygen. So yeah, Dapper, of course, formerly of Sentinels, been some questions where he might go, when he might return, where he's going to end up, and potentially to Oxygen Esports. So yeah, lots of tier 2 teams, the likes of Shopify Rebellion and now Oxygen and others are building their teams for the new season. We know that M80 have apparently kind of confirmed their team behind the scenes with supposedly Nitro returning to in-game lead the roster. So maybe Ye ends up on a situation like this, a tier 2 team again, but you know, with any luck, not DSG, at least for his perspective. Not like DSG are going to be bad, but they're going to have to re-qualify because of course they got relegated after the absolute shambles. That was the end of the most recent season for them. So these are the spreadsheets updated as of last night. The spreadsheets actually still say September the 12th at the top, but this is the most updated one that we have. So let me just start quickly with the Pacific actually, and we'll work our way backwards. Not that many changes here really overnight. There was like one change in the Chinese spreadsheet. We do have John Olsen moving up in likelihood for Global Esports right now, and the other way around for Gian Sanity over at Team Secret. Everything else is kind of pretty stable. We also had at the EMEA side, Nuki even more likely now to be on Giants going forwards. Couple of other players added in as potential targets. Interesting to see what Liquid decide to do because Jampy, Redgar, Nats are going to stay. Mystic, possibly, formerly a Fnatic, right? And then some other options as well that they might well be trialing. So yeah, some trials, some rumours, but plenty of these teams haven't really been fully decided. Na'Vi, for example, just to quickly look at them, Ardis, and then possibly it's still going to be Zypan, Chow Angel, and Sagetsu. But yeah, rumours that Doombros and Zypan might be, you know, a possibility to be leaving. So big changes on the works, but America's obviously is looking really tasty at the moment. So that's the Cloud9 team we saw. Whippy is the rumour. There hasn't really been anyone else linked to Cloud9, so that is probably going to be the team of 5, with of course Imi as the likely coach, and you know, Imi, Vanity, Whippy, they've had some, well, they've played together before, not had a massive amount of success before, but you know, who knows, that might turn around. The big change though really to see is that Crew, a few of their players have now basically been locked in, it seems. Kesnet, Klaus, and Melser, and also Aspas, right? So Aspas is everywhere, as you can tell. He's already on this side of the spreadsheet 4 times. He's on Leviathan, Furia, G2, and NRG all as options, and he's on Bleed as a potential option, as we just saw a second ago over here. So 5 teams Aspas is linked to. As of yesterday, the likelihood increased for Leviathan. So we think that he's got a very attractive offer there, and that is potentially a really good team, and it might make a lot of sense for for him. Is that going to be better than Loud, though? I think that's the question that I would be asking. So if I was Aspas, I might be looking at NRG especially. But if he does go to Leviathan, let's say, which does seem like the slightly more likely one, even though he's also been added here to Furia's potential list, which is another option, then it does open the door elsewhere. So at G2, Leaf is now a likely candidate with an up arrow. Now, not to say that this is absolutely 100% guaranteed correct or anything. Mike's HD is also an up arrow for increased likelihood here to stay on 100 Thieves, but Zelsa's, of course, we know, increased substitute likelihood for Sentinels. Now, Screwface as well. There was a clip that came out last night where Screwface heavily implies on stream that he will potentially be on the starting roster for the new Evil Geniuses. So we'll see if that's true today, possibly maybe tomorrow. But the other point is what happens with G2, because Leaf is meant to have been increased likelihood, but actually George Geddes says that as far as he's concerned, Demon1 is an option here, and Demon1 is looking at either NRG or G2. So Demon1 is probably hoping that Aspas goes to Leviathan, Demon1 can then step into NRG, and then maybe Ethan joins, or maybe Sadak joins as well, and he's the new IGL instead of FNS. That could also work. So lots of possibilities, but some disagreements here on where Demon1 especially might end up.
Where do you think Demon1's going to go? I think he'll go G2. Or it'll be... He'll either go G2 or NRG, I think. Because where else would he go? You know what I mean? I don't know why he's put Leaf as likely here, because I know that Leaf is an option for these guys, but Demon1 is still an option, so I don't know why he's put likely. I don't know why Flynn's done that, because he's not... I wouldn't suggest Leaf is likely.
Trust.
I was supporting them. I'll never make that mistake again. Yo, wait up. Before you say that, let's see how tomorrow goes, because if it goes, you know, maybe you can find another reason to support EG potentially if you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah, coming up. He's up. Inside, Jet.
So in tweeting your thoughts in the comment section below, interesting I thought what Screwface had to say as well, because yeah, maybe EG are now starting to lock in their new roster for the new season. Whether it's going to be good or bad, I guess, remains to be seen. There was also this as well from Zix, who's now, we believe, going to be the new head coach for 100 Thieves, and he actually replies to EU's little montage he does here, so that might imply that EU to 100 Thieves is on the table, as he has most certainly been linked to that roster. But very much into your perspective in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.